Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2, the playoffs of the ESL Open Cup number, I want to say 54. It's 2021. Starcraft 2 and the ESL Open Cup still going strong. There's actually too much Starcraft to follow. But you have to make a decision. You have to draw the line somewhere. Pick the matches you want to watch, and you've chosen wisely. So just know that you make good decisions on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and make sure to cheer for good games for the fans, because both these players are well known for providing them. Let me first introduce, in the top right, from Team Exxon, from the United States of America, one of the most entertaining Protoss in the entire world, and most importantly, North America. It is Nina, aka Neens. Which is, I do have to admit, sounds like a corporate meme version of Nina. But here we are. She's well known for being one of the most entertaining people to lose a lot of dramatic games. Micro our way, and looks like he's going to introduce himself before I'm ready. But our honorary North American Zerg player from Ukraine with a hatchery up close and personal, blocking the wall with Zerglings on the way, of course. It is Bly. Honestly, Nina and Bly have incredibly similar playstyles in a way that it's impossible to have similar playstyles. It's more of a can I rather than should I. It's more of a why not than why would I, if you would. And with that all said, the gateway will be ripped apart, and the management on the defense, impeccable from Nina, but the Zerglings still want to get involved. Oh no, you had one job! You had to build one pylon, and now there's Zerglings in the base. And here we go. All right, well, the Zerglings get in. The probes are pulled. Now, it's just slowlings. And, I think this is a good time. Nina provided some in-depth commentary on the match, some analysis that I wanna read to you. She says, Protoss, question mark? So hopefully you can use that as a guide to this match. And it provides important insight. The Zergling patrolling the mineral line, or the Zealot patrolling the mineral line, the Zerglings patrolling where the Zealot is not. The probes, very stressed out right now. Bly has taken more bases. He's only at 19 drones, though. So, how many probes? Have any okay, three probes have died to the Zerglings. It's 26 probes to 21 probe. Okay. It is 26 probes to 23 drones. But Bly has 3 bases, which eventually will give the larva for an increased economy. But Nina with a Stargate finishing and a second Nexus. As a Zerg player with this few drones, you don't have the ability to just pump out queens and build enough overlords and pump out drones. Like, you kind of have to make a decision between those things. And he's making 6 more lings, which I guess if there were a non-zero amount of adepts coming across the map, you might have to respect. But the one thing you're probably not going to be too focused on... Well, I was about to be like, well, he doesn't know the Stargate's coming, but the Overlord on the Pervert Pillar may have noticed that the Stargate is part of the wall, even though I did not. So, Oracle number 1, produce second Oracle in the mail. It's going to be multiple Moracles on the way. A casual adept walks in. The drones dodging adept hits. Well done so far from Bly. Bly only has 35. Oh, hello! Surprise! Brenda, what? Why is there no creep to the... Oh, no! Unfortunately, the knitting crew can't bring this together. 4 drones go down, and that limited a... One job! 4 drones at this stage of the game is not critical damage, but it definitely slows Bly down. Of course, when you go for a proxy hatch with a dozen or so Zerglings, that is pretty costly to your economy. You don't have nearly as many drones. In case that wasn't incredibly obvious, is Bly going up to 50 drones for maybe the first time in his entire career? Yes. Okay, a slight exaggeration. He hasn't built a hive in his career. That's the more true statement. But we'll see, as there is not even yet a lair. Just enough Zerglings to deny the third for now. 2 more drones go down to the Oracle. Some target fire, but the Spore Crawler getting some big hits is somehow... The Oracle just discouraged the Spore Crawler from that last hit, but another Adept caught and killed. A probe trying to make its way out. The Void Ray doing its best. Void Ray not well known for its anti-Zergling capabilities, but they do exist. Oh my god. The probe on the run! But even though the whole Protoss army, such as it is, came back, the probe still dies to the Zerglings, and the third base is continually delayed. Bly is adding on 5 extractors now. Business is booming in the Vespene market, as Bly is up to 60 drones. A lair is nearing completion, and that much gas screams uncomfortably shrill, but it screams Spire. There's almost nothing, I guess maybe Hydras, but Roach Corruptor seems like a very Bly unit composition. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. There's some melee attack upgrades on the way. Nina, not gonna have any sort of real splash damage for a while. Twilight Council is done. Immortal on the way. More gateways being produced. Nothing out of the Twilight yet. Blink. An interesting choice. There's still 400 gas in the bank for Bly. I'm wondering where he's going. Are we gonna see some corrosive Blyles? Who knows? With this many roaches and this much gas being produced, it could just be a Ravager Bane all-in. Though, I will take that back because there isn't a Baneling nest. Nina just kind of getting everything in this short respite here. There is the Spire. Finally, Bly kind of figuring out what he wants. Even more drones on the way. Bly a macro Zerg, obviously now. Nina still pretty far off getting any sort of real army together, an army that can attack. 2 Immortals, a handful of sentries. This is enough to not die, but not enough to... Well, the air patrols, the Zerglings don't seem to care because they realize there's not enough energy to actually deal with them. Meanwhile, Moodling Bane looks to be the choice from Bly. The Spire is at the third, a little exposed, I guess, but it appears both sides have decided, all right, we're gonna build our armies, and we're gonna see what happens. Both armies are gonna be a little bit different than what you'd expect to see. I guess what you'd expect to see is like Hydra, Lurker, Baneling up against Immortals, Archons, Storm, but instead we're gonna get Ravager, Bling, Muta up against Blink, Stalker. And the rest is gravy. Mostly Blink Stalkers. Okay, parting. Oh, but the force fields, 2 tiers, traps them in. A lot of corrosive Blyles coming out. Good defense, good force fields. Another round coming through, but most of the Zerglings have already been taken down. So much energy was banked up, and the roaches are slaughtered. Bly showed up, and Nina slapped him down. But blinking over the force fields, a little ambitious, picks up the Ravager, knocks it down. Bly on the full retreat here. He's got 77 drones, but he got absolutely smashed in that fight. Well, a disaster there for Bly. That went horribly. And suddenly all those losses at any other point in the game, well, it's not like Nina took a bunch of damage to the Zergling. But now, the units lost really reflecting how cost ineffective. 96 to 16 units, 3,600 minerals and 700 gas to 1280, 70. I mean, come on. 75 gas. That's it. Well, that's a few Banelings. Baneling speed is about to finish up. There's not that much energy for Force Field. Nina could be walking into disaster. Here come the Banes. Who needs Force Field when you got Wulas? Corrosive Bliles coming through. Immortal out in front. Ravagers Baneling trying to dodge the Ravager hits. 3 seconds. There's no more Force Fields. Baneling speed is complete, but the Oracles have showed up, and there's limited to no anti-air. +1 infantry, +1 ground weapons done for Nina. Couple Colossi on the way. I guess we haven't yet checked off that part of the bingo card. Colossi not terrible against Banelings, of course. Still, oh, by the way, Void Rays, remember them? And there they go. Okay, well, and there that 1 episode, and then we kill them off. That's all the Void Rays get. We couldn't afford to hire the actor for much longer than that. Anyways, Black coming across the map again. Lings, blings, and everything in between. Corrosive Bliles. That is quite a stasis, serving as a force field for both sides. Oh, Ravagers actually hit something. I think that was an Oracle. Overseer going down. Bly still lacking in the anti-air department. Changelings gonna draw some fire. Oh, the Lings! Stop right there, criminal Lings. Not you. Eventually the Lynx will be killed, but only after plenty. Oh. Everybody we're gonna pause for a second. Okay, well, those Lynx had a tough day. One Meanwhile, another round of Banes, trapped in a prison of their own design. The probes on the run, +2 melee just now finished, and the probes will be one shot. That's a lot of damage. Oh no, the other Banes! Oh, 27 probes across the board. Even a single Baneling becomes dangerous with that +2 melee. The probes just evaporate. So everybody calming down for a moment. Are those Broodlords? Okay. Where are they? Let me see. Okay. All right. The Knitting Crew coming together for Bly. A big fan of the aggressive queen pushes. His queens are all over the place, no matter when he's playing or where or what he's doing. He's lost twice as many resources, but Nino, with only 56 probes, doesn't have an overwhelming economy, something that you can go for every tech and then some. Like, we're not going to see the Stasis Wards are clutching it right now. I mean, well, yeah, remember this wall? Remember why this wall exists? A very Wings of Liberty looking army over here. Blink Stalkers, Sentries, and Colossi. A couple of Mortals mixed in. Broodlords! Hello! What year is it? Oh, here are Ravagers, though. So, now, the Colossi are pretty good against the Broodlings, but obviously you can't just stand underneath. Oh, Shield Battery Overcharge. Gonna do a great job of holding on to the 4th. Meanwhile, the Broods, I don't know, Ravagers are just throwing things up. I smell a recall. Oh, but the Blink! The force field's holding the line! You gotta get out! You gotta get out! Where's the recall? The Protoss army is trapped! You're running out of time! The recall out! The Banelings are closing in! But most of the army, including all of the Colossi! What a save! About the perfect timing. Timing out the corrosive biles. The force fields were enough to save nearly all the key units, including the sentries themselves, which is a lot of gas that now doesn't need to be spent on those again. The utility and the mileage out of the sentries is incredible here from Nina. And without it, you wouldn't be able to switch eventually, potentially, into carriers. But also, if you don't have the probes, it's tough to switch into carriers. Bly has had a... Oh, Branda! What? We're walking. We're walking. Slowly. But fast enough. The Broodlords aren't much faster than us. Don't we outrank them? We're queens. That's not important. Meanwhile, War Prism at the back of the main. A classic tactic. Everything in the general vicinity of the ramp dies. Oh, Karen, come back. I want to speak to your executor, please. Shut up, Karen. Do you really want some feedback? Meanwhile, the zealot problem is either digressing or progressing, depending on which side you're on. The spawning pool was killed. The hive is vulnerable, but I do appreciate that Bly doesn't build every single tech building in the main. The spawning pool and the hive, okay. Especially considering how long it took him to get a natural. Oh, the queen's holding the line. But the broodlords are kind of outflanking. The storms are helping, but another Templar gets knocked down by the broodlords. Another round of broods. Bly is just kind of out here. That's a lot of broodlords. There's not really that much anti-air to deal with it. It's +2. The broodlords have no upgrades besides the melee for the broodlings, which isn't that big a factor. It's really the initial impact that usually does the damage. The first wave. You ever notice that broodlings are just smaller broodlords that broodlords send to their death so they can never be contested? And this is why broodlords come from corruptors, because corruptors think they're too good for broodlings. Disgusting. Oh no, but the broodlords go so far forward, the queens are gone. Blink stalkers get the better of them for now. But the broodlords continually coming in. The tempests are on the way. Nina doesn't have any other bases here. Yeah, that's happening. Broodlords, another round of storms. With no more transfuses, the back and forth. I haven't seen this sort of back and forth with broodlords for quite a while. And the rest of the corruptors, all that Bly can afford, going into broods, which is going to be kind of an issue when the tempests show up to the party. Gonna want to cancel those. Cancel! Bly! He's like, no, 2 corruptors is enough. No, it's not! How many times have we seen broodlords die because there's 0? Oh, well, hello. Everyone, come on, everybody. This is an open invitation to everything on the map. The battle continues. Tempest at the back. 17 probes going down on the other side. Nina has almost no economy behind this, and the 4th base falls. Did this hatch live? It did. It did. That's unfortunate. 24 probes, down to 35. Unfortunately, Bly's been sending Lings and Banes continually into the 3rd. These probes are in a very precarious position. Well, they're no longer in a precarious position, let's put it that way. Zerglings, deja vu. They've just been in this place before 15 minutes ago with a stupid proxy cheese. Meanwhile, another Tempest down. Some corruptors cut off, but I think we've seen this Protoss versus Zerg before. Well, the Protoss, Nina, no economy, but an incredibly dangerous army. Whereas Bly just needs to live. But that is a little in doubt right now, because Nina able... Oh, the broods! The broods! They're on their own! You can't recall! Blink, blink, blink! Where are they? The broods getting one shot! Still the Templar with energy! This is a potentially game-winning play! Where are the storms? The corruptors are doing a lot of damage. Both sides able to kill one another. Who's going to end up coming out on top? The Protoss army is thinning out. But corruptors on their own aren't going to solve the problem. Corruptors can't kill Templar. They can't kill Zealots. They can't kill... Well, they can't kill Stalkers. More broods are on the way. The corruptors are running out of value here. Nina with one last push. But instead of desperation, there is comeback potential. Just barely out of range. Just barely out of range are the broods. Out of vision. They're about to finish. They're about to finish. There's a split second. The storms on the broods. A couple go down. They pop out with full HP. The broodlords raining down, but the storms, they're barely weathering them. There's no more ground army. Bly is out of minerals. Nina is drawing the supplies nearly even 50. Oh, here comes some banelings. More storms! The banelings crashing through! Archon merge! Just in time! And Nina still has an army, and Bly does not! Nina holds! Bly didn't have the ground forces! The broodlords were ambitious at best and foolish at worst. And that might have been the difference. If those Broodlords were made in the main, or somewhere that they couldn't get blunked on, I don't know. But now, Bly doesn't have the money. He's got the gas, but you can't trade it in. He didn't build a market. And I'm not sure this is the right... But the Corruptors are killing bases. And Nina has next to no economy. Wait a second. The Corruptors can kill buildings. It's a full-on base trade. It's no longer just like... It's not... It's a full-on base trade. The recall isn't going to happen. The probes are gone. The economies are gone. Bly has to win the game with Corruptor Zergling. Even water balloons coming out from the Templars. Zealots are chasing. Broodlings are a real and present danger. The Greater Spire is getting hit. Not that Broodlord's shield battery overcharged, but the Zerglings are shredding the battery. Recall comes out. Bly? What is here? Oh, Archons. Meanwhile, the army on the ground, Bly is no longer mining. Bly does not have any... Well, Nina doesn't have much income either. Nobody has mineral patches. So what are the drones? Bly does not have enough. Even close for a hatch. He's building 9 roaches. Cancels, which gives him enough for a hatchery. And then he builds 3 infestors. Oh, the game is not over. It's not over. There's no economy. There are still Corruptors. Which... There's no Dark Shrine, which is something that you'd usually look to here. Both players have maximum... Like, Bly has as many drones as he started with, and Nina is down. One Archon's not going to solve this. The Nexus may die. Bly can micro back the Corruptors. Oh, well, Archons are pretty mad at their existence. If there are no more Nexi, there's no more recalls. Nina doesn't have nearly... Nobody has enough minerals to re-expand. Wait, what are the build... We have to go to the Structures tab. The Infestors are a real issue. There are Ravagers, all that gas, Bly, the Corrosive Blyles combined with fungal growth. This game somehow, like, Bly did critical damage and then Nina struck back, and neither of them killed each other. It's one of those super cliche movie plot lines where the protagonist and the antagonist shoot each other, but then both somehow miraculously survive, despite all their henchmen dying immediately in one shot. Well, there are still some henchmen left, so... The high ground. There is an observer to see some of this. There is an observer to get some information before going up that ramp. The infestors are spotted. That's a huge deal. The production, the overlords! No! Come on! Come on! Oh, wait, a storm on the ramp? Some Blyles? Oh, is there a sentry? There's no sentry for force field. Also, you gotta be careful not to storm your own overseer too much. Or observer, rather. Even the rocks. You gotta be careful. A fungal on the observer could be worth it. Trying to dodge, but are we really doing... Are we baiting out Blyles with the observer now? Wait, okay, so now what? Who has probes? There's one Archon, the House Archon. But this one's by choice. Sometimes House Archons get stuck. But the House Archon defending House Nina... Power. Overwhelming. Wait, can the Archon get back there? I think so. There's a recall. Just of whatever you can grab. There's enough to potentially... Where's the blank? The blank over gets another Corruptor. There's so few Corruptors now, they can't realistically kill... Is this gonna be a draw? We're not there yet. Is there enough for... If there was enough for Burrow... Oh, Bly! There's enough minerals left in the main to get Burrow. I think that's where this is going now. What? Eventually, the pylon that was placed to stop the proxy hatch. Bly has enough. He's rebuilding the infestation, but I guess he could just get infestors. There's still the one observer. Just the one. There's not enough gas for another observer. The Corruptors! Another one down. It's 11 to 8 workers. The incomes are pretty close because no one has any. Neural Parasite? I mean, if you can't build any more of your army, then maybe you need to look for outside help. 5 banelings. Wow, Bly is spending any amount. Neural Parasite's only halfway done. Uh-oh. That's that's all of the economy. The storms, the banelings are gone. The fungal finds a connection. Bly sending out corrosive. Spore crawlers are going on to what little creep is left. More fungals. Feedback thrown out. 0 out of 5 on Yelp. Trying to burrow. But the Overlord doesn't drop creep. There's no creep to drop it. The Infestor's still alive, but the fungals killed the Templar. That's all the energy the Templar had. But the spore crawlers unburrowed, trying to crawl away. But they got joint pain. Burrow and Neural Parasite. Neural Parasite. Is there even enough energy? There's only one Infestor with enough energy for it now. But honestly, one Neural Parasite could change the entire game. Meanwhile, one Corruptor! There is recall. Oh wait, there's a Stalker! A change of Mardi for a Corruptor. We're at this point. Okay, so here we are. One drone. Wait, one drone. There's not enough minerals for another drone. And they're one more Infestor by Bly. That's it. There's one drone. That's the end of it. Nina now has a severe income lead with 55 minerals per minute, which is more than 0. Fungal on the obs! Oh my god, without the obs, there's no high ground vision! There's not enough to rebuild. There's not even remotely enough to rebuild the obs. Oh no! Oh no! Oh! Scouting with the low energy. There's no detection! Oh no! I think Nina realizes. Does she see it? She has to see it. But does it? What can you do? What can you do? You can Neural Parasite from underground. Oh no! Oh no! This is just like that. This is so cliche. And then at 2, Brute. Oh no! But the storms on the Infestors. There's not enough energy. The Archons turn against the Protoss, but trying to friendly fire with the Archons onto the Infestors. They're fighting. Oh, another Neural. Oh no, Bly. He's taking the Protoss and Protoss against Zerg, but it's still close. It's still kind of close. There's not enough energy. The Ravagers are getting chased. The burrowed Infestors were not enough. There's no other. Oh, but the Immortal turns coat. Not his choice, but he did. But the wait, we're in an actual base trade though. Can we kill all the buildings before our own units kill us? Oh no! Brother against brother! Just shooting him in the fucking face! Oh no! You have to blink away from your own Immortal! Protoss? Question mark? Stand still. No, why? Look him in the eyes. Look him in the... Wait, no. Okay. Stand still. Do not... So, Bly has one drone. That one drone is the only thing keeping this from being potentially a draw. You might be like, why could it be a draw? Wait, there's no cannons. If there were cannons, also, of course, the probes... There are still probes for Nina. So the game isn't... Oh, if this drone was dead, then somehow Bly would have to win with what he has. There's no cannons, so that means there's no detection. The thing is, if the drone was dead and there was one cannon, all it would take is one cannon, potentially. Well, I guess a Ravager could kill it. Oh yeah, there's a Corruptor! Remember? There's Corruptor! Not anymore! Eventually, like, the probes are mining. The probes are mining. So, it's on Bly, despite all of this. There is gas mining for an observer. How long does it take with 8 probes to long-distance mine gas from your third? The answer is TBD. Out of several minutes. You could neural parasite the probes. If there was a cannon, this would become so much easier. There's almost enough. There's not enough gas yet for knobs. I can't. No, no, brother. But the shield batteries. Oh, they fighting duel. Oh no, but the shield battery is. Wait. It gets re-shielded. What am I watching? Oh, Bly smothering Nina with her own units. Oh, I feel like there's some sort of convention that's being violated here. Not that the Zerg care. Oh no, the Archon is killing the last probes. Oh, but there's an observer. Oh my, and there's no more energy. There's no more, there's no fungal. There's not enough energy. Nina, the Archon finally turns back to the Protoss, and with it, potentially, the entire game. Wait, no! The Observer gets the last Infestor! That's it! The last Infestor! Wait! It's over. That's it. GG! The Observer died as the Infestor did. The Protoss turning cannibalism at the end of the day. But Nina survives with 1 Archon, 1 Zealot, 6 probes, and a dream. Now let's move on to game 2. Protoss? Question mark. I didn't realize I was watching a PvP. PvP is usually the toddlers knife fighting in a zero-gravity environment of matchups. But here, well, that was something else. Game 2. By just opting for the classical 12 pool. I think we need a moment. Well, that was that was a couple steps away from being a draw. We almost saw Protoss. I mean, it was better than a draw. It was better to have a conclusion to that match. It literally came down to the energy. Have you ever seen an overseer matter that much? And also an observer. Like, the real heroes were the detection in that game. And the lack of it deciding everything. Well, the probe scouts. Nina gonna try to expand. Good luck with that.
Hello there.
Bly gonna take a natural. As is customary. Zerglings on the way. This isn't even supposed to be for units. This is literally to block the wall. This is just... He's filibustering the wall right here with the hatchery. Nina, this seems ambitious. You're going to need to wall that off a little more dramatically. There we go. I thought for a second we'd just leave it open to being canceled, but... Alright, the gateway taking some hits. More cannons on the way. Trying the same build again. Both sides. If that second zealot doesn't come out. Oh my god. Oh my... Oh my... Is there... It was stepping through the doorway. There is no second zealot. Now there are Zerglings in the base. The cannon's dead. There's only one zealot. The hatch finishes, by the way, like almost an afterthought. The dance, like, there's a cannon coming up, but there's already been... This is much more entrenched, obviously. That second Zealot was required. There are too many Zerglings. There are too many Zerglings for one Zealot and a few very valiant probes to handle. Especially considering the creep is spreading. The creep is spreading all over the Protoss, and they can't build on slime. Brenda has arrived, and she is angry about last game. Did you see what happened there? Oh my god. What a mess. Well, that cannon will never get another chance. And the creep. Wow, really just dropping it. It's over. It's over. We're all tied up. Bly speed running game 2. And that's all it takes. Uh, 32 minutes for game 1, 3 minutes for game 2, and this is why StarCraft is one of the most exciting games and hardest to schedule tournaments for. Wow. All tied up, game 3. Now, Oxide has the high ground. Now you got a ramp leading up to your natural. This makes the hatch block significantly more difficult. It's not going to stop Bly from starting things off strong. Okay. He knows what he likes. He knows what he likes. But... Is that, yep. That drone's not going to his natural, is it? Is this... Wow. 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 All right. Here we go. No ramp will stop me. Hello. Round 3. Wait, no! Oh, no! And the probe dies.
We got him.
Insult to injury, or injury to insult. Losing the probe and not even being able to block the Bly's own natural, that is significantly less than ideal. I think Nina had the response. It's just that you need the second Zealot. The second Zealot was kind of a big deal. And it was approximately... it was microseconds away. It was done. It probably said 100% on the gateway. That second Zealot, I think, makes the entire difference. In like when the difference is like 4 to 8 Zerg. Oh no, second Zealot comes out. Is that a wall? It's not a wall, but the cannon is of course the impending threat. The second Zealot turns the tides. The cannon is holding. So is the Zealot not even targeting. Nothing's dying. The Zealot and the cannon hold, and it's looking great for Nina. That was a lot of Zerglings. It's only 14 drones. The expansion slapped down. The only thing lost was a probe and a Zealot. And the probe was to drones. So, finally, that's how it's supposed to go. And also, not because of reasons stated, not an ideal map for it. But Bly will Bly. As they say. I cannot Bly to you. Another base coming up, but Bly cannot afford to make enough Zerglings to deal with this. Of course, the Zealot gonna take its sweet, sweet time. The Adept, shading through, slowlings, not a great counter. This is much better than Game 1. Game 1 was... the Zerglings should have never gotten in. If the Zerglings get in and kill a few probes, that evens things out a lot. But here, the Stargate is done, and Bly is struggling to make his first queens. Not his... Okay, his second queens, rather. Brenda has to go all the way over to the third. This is happening. 1v1 me, bro. Oh, that's not very fair. Well, she brought Zergling, so everybody was looking towards this moment. The queen running as fast as she can. Not fast enough. Gets the inject. My babies. Yeah, this is... even before the Oracle shows up, this is terrible, terrible damage. There's no Spore. There's no creep. I think the Oracle... If it's not GG yet, the Oracle will secure it. Though the Oracle probably shouldn't be coming in directly where the queens are. Yeah. Well, this is... Yeah. Yeah, this is what happens. Oh my. Well, this is... Oh. The Adepts live. The Zealot finally dies to the second generation queen, but... Yeah, it's pretty... I don't know what Bly's plan is here. Bly has survived in dramatic games before with a minimal economy, but it's not this minimal. Okay, okay, Bly. All right. It's okay now. I give you permission to die. He's very dead. He's super dead. I don't know what is... Like, there's no infestors that are gonna save him here. Oh, come on. Come on with that recall. Unnecessary. By the way, Glaive's on the way. Well, consolation prize. 1 adept. Live and let Bly. So, I don't know. It's 8 Adepts and 3 Oracles against 5 Zerglings and 2 Queens. And also the Adepts are going to have Glaives. So, it could go either way! Who knows? This is essentially, well, I hope Nina tilts, because obviously I should have left the game. So I hope she tilts in the next game so I can proxy hatch again. That's what I'm getting from this. Because both players know there is no way Bly survives this. Nina now very much realizing that. Bly, I'm sure, has already realized it. The Adept wall. Yeah, good luck. Meanwhile, the drones are being murdered. And there we go. Nina on match point. Well, that was, these last 2 matches have been quite one-sided. After the game 1, where the sides were blurred. Let's just move on. Will he do it again? That's a drone in production. For the very first time in this series, we will see a drone in production in game 1. Wow. A massive change-up coming from Bly here. Meanwhile, Nina gonna try to... just leave Nina alone. Let her take a gate expand. Come on. Bly. No, stop. Stop. No, go home. Go home. God damn it. Where are you going? It's like, now I'll proxy it at the third base. I don't think they saw each other. Wow, Bly. This is an advanced macro build. You see, Bly has expanded, and then here comes the oh, come on. Wait, let's see.
You never expect the hatch again!
Well, this time it's at the natural. It's not even at the wall, it's just behind enemy lines. It's a macro hatch. I think we're gonna see the Evo chamber block afterwards as well. This is just a delay. It's not actually supposed to finish. It's just to throw things sideways. I think he tried it, but the probes and zealot rightfully and righteously murdered it. So here we are again. Why? Like, he does rely on getting something. He wants to throw the game sideways. He wants to drag it into the Twilight Zone, which I understand the puns that could be made. Make things weird to even out the playing field. Because against most players, if you play straight up standard, that's not Bly's forte. Now this is the closest we've gotten to standard, despite the macro hedge at the natural. Bly is supply blocked, like, pretty badly right now. That's actually a huge deal. This is a real problem. He's not even building overlords. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, that's actually really bad. Being supply blocked at 29 out of 28 for like a minute at 3 minutes is bad. Bly has 21 drones, 6 larvae. He's gonna make some more Zerglings now. The third base, because of that supply block, has to be canceled to 2 zealots. Unfortunately, though, it means there are no zealots at home, and 4 Zerglings just kind of walk in. But otherwise, this is great for Nina. Oh. Yeah, if the Zerglings weren't able to just walk in, this would be just a win on all fronts. The recall was forced out. This is happening. Runling Run. A classic arcade game. Oh, what? No, not them too. No, wait, no. Actually, oh. He spent so long trying to figure out whether or not he could. He didn't ask whether or not he should. Meanwhile, these, okay. Yeah, this was optimistic. This isn't working. Well, I'm having a rough time over here. It's not as bad as the previous game, because Bly did have multiple hatches to start, and he hasn't, like, lost a ton of drones. But, oh, well, those lings come out at a very fortuitous timing. While he hasn't lost a ton of drones, he never had that many drones to lose. Is a pretty relevant part. Oh, these zealots, wow. That's 2 brothers. Dead. Very dead. Super dead. So, Bly is down 10 workers, which for him is about even. That's about the best you can hope for as Bly in most games where you don't do critical damage. He does not have a lair. He's getting +1 melee attack. So this is a very gotcha Zerg style. And I'm not talking Genshin Impact. I'm talking like, gotcha. Oh! Like, Zerglings! Whoa! That kind of Zerg. It appeared, well, 3 drones went, was there an oracle or something? I must have missed it. I guess. But there are going to be adepts. That's, hi, hello! Ah! It's, I mean, the force fields are confusing. Ah! Jimmy! Jesus. Come. You didn't need to see it. Like, 2 adepts died, and so did a dozen Zerglings. Nobody really won. You got the gist of it, though. Third base is on the way. I'm trying to... Maybe I should think out loud. Like, Nina now, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. She's got some... Oh, that's a lot of adepts. 50 shades with glaives here. Well, only 14 adepts, but it's about the idea. Nobody actually puts 99 bottles of beer on the wall, unless it's like a distillery or something. Or brewery, that's what they're called. Anyways, speaking of strong alcohol, Bly may need some. Momentarily. And while the adepts, it seemed like they were surrounded. Well, then guess what? Now there's glaved adepts in your main. There's no roaches there. $13 drones. He can afford to lose none. He's lost 15. The adepts will be recalled. Remember, there's a Stargate. In case there's some desperation counterattack, you can build, say, Void Rays. Bly has a 4th on the way with 40... Like, none of the units, and this is classic Bly. Somehow he wins these games, though. Like, it's not... This isn't out of the... I don't know how. Usually you'd see a Nidus. That's usually the tool. Somehow Bly's Niduses, that's his character perk. His Nidus has +6 armor. And it seems to be twice as... And it takes twice as much vision range to see it. Also, he has the same... His drones mine 30% more. Somehow. I don't know how. He's hacking. But he makes do with like 50 drones, which most players somehow have less units on 70. He's very comfortable in that 50-60 drone range. And by that I mean he's a timing-oriented Zerg, which some people might say means cheesy as fuck. And I would also say that, but I wouldn't say that all the time. I would just say that sometimes. It depends on the game. So a bunch of roaches on the way. This looks like a Muda switch here. And while there are phoenixes... wait, has the spire been scouted? I'm gonna go with yes. Based on the revelation that is currently on the spire that is 80% done. So, the thing about the spire, it's kind of like a dark shrine. It's expensive, it takes a while to build. Actually, the same amount of time. But just its existence has to be respected. Like, you have to acknowledge the fact that DTs or Mudas could exist. Those roaches, very unhappy. A lot of force fields used to grab them, but they're not going to be used for anything else for a while. Infestation Pit is on the way. Looks like the spire is mostly decorative for now. It's there for intimidation purposes only. I wouldn't be surprised to see another round of infestors, but swarm hosts are also an option here. This isn't a bad composition to go swarm hosts against. There's no Archons, there's no Storm. The upgrades are pretty poor, and by that I mean there are no upgrades. So, 9 Ravagers on the way. That's going to take up most of the investment. It might just be a speed to hive sort of situation. But Robotics Bay on the way for Nina. Bly opting... Well, that's a lot of Ravagers. He loves his Corrosive Bliles here. And with that, well, some of the force fields were used recently. At this point, just start throwing them out there, I think. Like, no, just a wall, a force field of Bliles. There is +1 air weapons on the way for Nina, as well as +1 ground, but air weapons is first. Force fields are there, just moving through. There's still some more force fields, but the Bliles should be enough. Great force fields for zoning for now. Another round of Banelings taken out. How is Bly even in this game still? But what? Okay, moving on. That's happening. He just doesn't die. He's literally the roach of... If there was a unit that could describe Bly, it would be a Tunneling Claws roach. He is... If a Tunneling Claws roach was a person, or like 7 of them were a person, all combined as one person, and 1 infester, that would be Bly. 7 Tunneling Claws roaches with no upgrades, and also 1 infester. But no more than that. Templar Archives. Oh, Phoenixes being held on to. Possibly waiting for the big reveal. Here comes Bly. This game has kind of evened out, even though I'm not really sure why. It seemed like Nina had the damage done and could follow it up, but she did go more for the economy route. Oh, and that may cost. Well, oh, the Blyles! All over the Colossi. Watch out, watch out, watch out! Oh, the damage spread across. Oh, another round! Yeah. Oh my god, I've never seen this before! The Zerglings getting in. I don't think I've ever seen a Colossus die so directly to corrosive bile. Just the blast, the shotgun spread, coating the area like he's an Abathur right now. Honestly, Bly, you know what? I revised my statement. Bly is just Abathur with Bly's face on both of his little arms. Not like where a face would be, which Abathur arguably has. Just his arms are Bly's face, and then the rest of him is regular Abathur. That is my new revision. It is horrifying. Just like playing against Bly. Oh no. Zerglings again. Playing against Bly is like playing against that uncomfortable Abathur. Like, oh my god, I can't... Like, part 1 is that Bly is still in the game. Part 2 is that I think he's winning now. I'm not even sure what went wrong. There was never any point where really Nina, I think, made big mistakes. It's just Bly kind of squeezed his way through a keyhole up the side of the castle, back down in the princess's bedroom, where he concocted a new genetic mutation that allowed him to become gas. And that gas just filtered through the ventilation system and poisoned everyone in the castle. And then he rematerialized into Abathur with Bly's face as his hands. Classic Bly move. Ravager, like, this almost looks like an army you're supposed to have. Ravager, Lingbane, but, like, why are there so many Corruptors? Because Nina has a bunch of Phoenixes. Wait, where did the Phoenixes go? They're over here. It's 5 bases to 4. Stasis Ward grabs a bunch of the Zerglings. The second Stasis Ward picks up where it left off, but it's only the Zerglings. The Banelings and Ravagers, as well as the Corruptors that exist. Great storms and force field. Some of the Zealots left out to dry, but their lives for ire. Enough of the probes will live. A great fight out of Nina. The Corruptors trying to angle. The Zerglings running away after the Stasis. Nina handling this about as well as you could expect. Another Colossus goes down. But the storms, more than worth the cost. And Nina holds the base without losing too many workers. Bly has a ton of money in the bank. Does he have a Greater Spire? He does. I smell Brood Lords. Smells slightly sweet. Odd. But also somewhat of vodka. And that's kind of weird. Well, here you go. This is a confusing wall, but it's happening. Ah, there they are. Okay. Sweet, but it's like whipped cream vodka. Yes, that exists apparently. I was in college once, okay? Dark times. And Bly is Ukrainian, so... the queens and their lords moving forth. Meanwhile, Nina scrambling. Somehow Bly has taken the upper epither hands of this match. And Nina is forced onto the defensive. As Bly coming across. We've been here before. This has happened before. With brood lords, queens, march. We've done this. What happened last time? We don't talk about that. The brood's raining down. There's not that much anti-air. The fleet beacon is not even done. There's a lot of options here, but Bly, with a lot of brood lords, the broods looking to be sniped. One goes down. No transfuses yet, but probes dying. Banelings from the right side. Nina under siege again. Another storm comes out. There's not enough vision for the queens here. There are some phoenixes, but they do have +1, giving us kind of a weird scenario. But the economy is hurting. Are we really going to base trade? Oh, this seems optimistic. You don't really want to base trade when you're already losing your base. This definitely isn't as good of a scenario as Nina was in. It was about even on Jagannatha. But, oh no, the classic move! Where are your corruptors? Oh my god, just catching the... Wow, the oldest trick in the book. There's no anti-air. The corruptors just ran home. I can't believe Bly fell for this. It doesn't look like it's going to be a game changer, but several broodlords now. 5 broodlords have been sniped. There's still more than enough. More banelings! That deletes the battery. The probes were on the run. Are probes faster than speed mains? Oh, it only takes 1! It only takes 1! But there were none. Oh, here come the legs! The probes are never safe. A recall! Is there a sentry? No, even the Zerglings are a real threat. Unfortunately, though, Bly seems to have tickled this game out of Nina's reach through the repeated efforts and counterattacks. Nina never able to consolidate a game-winning force. This is about the best we're going to get here. But that is a lot. That's going to be 14 broodlords. They have 1-1. That's a lot of broodlords. There's phoenixes, which creates a weird dynamic. Changelings are blocking some of the army. Zerglings are ransacking most of what's left of the economy. Banelings just rolling through. The broodlords under fire. Some transfuses. Storms hitting phoenixes. But also corrosive bliles hitting the queens. One survives very bravely. That's despite the storm efforts. Nina down 100 supply. It's not looking good for the American Protoss. Bly has held on to this one. Almost out of storms. The broodlord still Bly in number. Storms are good. 3 Zerglings just ripping through what's left. The Phoenix is finding an angle to fight, target firing, so that way the transfuses aren't enough. Another brood, taking a lot of damage, but not enough. Down goes an Oracle. The Templar! GG! All tied up. Match point. I don't even know where that went wrong. Bly just sitting... I thought the Adepts would win. And they killed so much, but Bly just slithered out of it. What a slippery Zerg. All the way from proxy hatches. 4 games in a row. 4 games. That's more than 1. That's more than 2. Believe it or not. 4. And that ties us up. But Jimmy says it's time for a quick advertising break. before we go to match point, we got to get a shout out to our sponsor. If you guys pause that block, we'll be right back. Hey everybody, I'm Winter, and I'm here to tell you you should like and subscribe so that way YouTube will force feed you more ridiculous series of players who have never done the same build before and will never do the same build again. Like, are you bored by Cyril and Innovation and TY and Stats and all these terrible, boring players? Well, so am I. So, make sure to smash that like button like a neural parasited immortal smashes a Protoss stalker. Make sure to smash that like button like corrosive bliles raining down onto Colossi. Make sure to smash that like button like corruptors slowly evaporate Nexi by spraying on them. What are they spraying? Nobody knows. But people have also decided to spray their Amazon Prime subscription on this channel, here on Twitch. I know, we're all over the place. You gotta keep up, because if you can't keep up, you'll be left behind. And some of you should be left behind, but that's okay, because with Amazon Prime every month for free, you can subscribe to a streamer of your choice. And if you don't stream, well, you should be watching. And if you are watching, you should subscribe right here, right now on Twitch, which is owned by our Amazon overlords. And if you don't subscribe right now, you're losing money for me. So subscribe with Twitch Prime or Prime Gaming, and also then maybe you'll start to make sense of anything. Like, why are we here? What are we doing? If I talk fast enough, will people not realize that none of this made any sense? Because all of it is supposed to make me more sense, doesn't need to make sense. So at the end of the day, do all of those things. Don't think about it. Don't use closed captions. They don't work anyways. And good night. Thank you guys for sticking around. Game 5, ESL Open Cup Full NA Playoffs number 54. I think this is the semifinals, but every Monday there's $400 on the line for each service, $1,200 overall, and ESL points as we're going into the next season of DreamHack Masters and the ESL Pro Tour. I'm sorry, these games have been so exciting, dramatic. I hope you think so. Don't do it, Bly. Don't do it. Where is he going? I think we know. Game 5 out of 5. Timed out near perfectly. Evolution.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Revenge. For all the many thousands and tens of thousands of matches where Protoss players block the natural expansion of Zergs, Bly is looking to do something to right those wrongs, to rectify those transgressions, to fight fire with fire, or at least annoy the Protoss enough to throw their build order off and hopefully win the game eventually off that.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
And he just comes back around for another pass, losing 75 minerals each time and eventually losing the drone. And is it worth it? I mean, the score's 2-2, so... He's a slippery Zerg, indeed. I don't know anymore. Like, these games have gone both ways now. It's been an absolute mess. There's no trend to follow. There's no, like, meta to fall back on. Nina has both won and lost with various forms of proxy hatches. Bly has both won and lost based on how they went, or much later in the game where it seems to have essentially evened out. Like last game, Nina, I would say on paper was ahead, but she went for a whole lot of tech. That's a lot of Zerglings. The Adept is probably the most important. Well, Brenda's getting involved, but there's... Okay. The Zealot will die. Everyone dies. Okay. How many... It was 9 Zerglings for 1 Zealot and 1 Adept. I think that's worth it. Of course, it's not worth it if then another Adept... Guys, creep! Creep! You think we've been here for long? I don't... Now, Zergling speed will be done by the time this shade completes. So, are there not going to be Zerglings? Where are the Zerglings? They didn't pop out yet. Oh, the Evo chamber block. Bly on the run. Some of the drones tripping over each other. There's room for everyone. Learn how to mineral walk. The Adepts trying to target drones. Finding some. Great micro from Nina. Seems redundant, but oh my, 5 drones. 5 drones and forced a dozen or so lings with a Stargate and Oracle on the way. So, we've been here before. I think I said it last game, and it was only a little bit sarcastic, and now it entirely isn't. Bly is down less than 10 workers, which means he's in a good place economically. For Bly, it seems as long as he's not down by 20, he's still got a very good shot. And I'm not, like, it's just, he makes people's brains hurt. Because Mine as well. Like, the numbers do lie. Because on paper, I would say...
The numbers don't lie! And they spell disaster for you!
And then,
well,
like...
you got 25% at best at beat me!
But then Bly counters with...
I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal! And he's not even gonna try!
So...
Bullshit!
Everyone calm down. So here we are. Here we are again. For the first and the last time. For the beginning and the end. Game 5, which is probably going to be the only Game 5, though if this series is any judge, it's certainly not guaranteed. Adepts coming through, but the Queen, such a juicy target, you can't resist. I know. Hashtag Yas Queens. The Adept on the run. Ethereally. Or whatever. Couple more drones. Okay. 5 drones in the last minute, and it's not too bad. 12 drones have been killed. Bly is even on workers, which is, once again, the best he can hope for. +1 melee on the way. Oh, Void Ray. Well, the Void Ray was for the Overlords. And also, who knows? Bly is going to kind of expand. Was he banking money? Or did he want the expansions? Either way. Well, I'm having some trouble splitting off one ling. He gets there. Melee attacks level 1. Oh. The Zerg are not sending their best. Well, I mean, actually, for Bly, that... Okay. Alright, here we are. That happened. There is technically a gap in the wall, which makes it easier to stop the Zerglings. Otherwise, they just attack, move the wall. But of course, if the Zerglings get in. Oh no! We're getting killed! It's very sad! Oh my god. My life for ire! Oh, yes. Can't believe Nina did not notice. And Neladosh, or whatever other Protoss BS they say randomly. The Void Ray looking for opportunity, finds it. Why do Protoss half the time speak English and half the time speak Protoss? Who are they talking to? Doesn't make any sense. This game isn't very realistic. Meanwhile, Nina has conveniently mined out most of the mineral patches that Bly is about to run. Oh, yeah, now would be a good time to stop mining that. Okay, who told you to mine that? I take no responsibility for that. There are 10 overlords on the way for Bly, which is enough to max out. I mean, he has the money, so. The corrosive Blile's coming out. Is Storm done? No Storm yet. Oh, Baneling! Ah! Ah! That is my commentary. Storm, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, none seconds. The Protoss army halts. There's not enough Bliles to get through the force fields. Meanwhile, a Void Ray going to work. One Queen with her knitting crew coming together. The Zealots on the chase. Bliles finding some connections, but the charge lot's chasing down what's left of the Roach Ravager. Nina with 89 to 52 army supplies. Bly on the run. The Queens and Ravagers, some Banelings, and +2 about to finish. Baneling speed is done. Transfuses, just making sure that Queen stays intact. And Bly, of course, has the secondary fourth. This was just the decoy. Honestly, whichever base got attacked first was about to become the decoy, but here we are. There's some energy. Enough to potentially decide this match here. The Banelings getting a little too close for comfort and will be stormed away. A handful make it through, but not nearly enough. There's no more Banelings. Nina marching. The charge lots getting on top of whatever they can. Probably ideally not the hatchery. A lot of corrosive Bliles, but Bly, he's losing. You don't really want to lose the third. That's real damage there. Oh, great Storm! Hitting the vast majority of the Roach Ravager. And here comes some Archons. Here comes some Immortals. Here comes some charge lots. We're sticking with the classics. Archons, every single one of these units and buildings, they do extra damage to. And of course, Storm doesn't hurt either. Except for the Zerg. Oh my god. Oh my god! The Banelings! Oh no! Oh, how does he do it? How did this happen? It's a disaster for Nina. Every sort of unit the Banelings could want to hit, they did. And suddenly the army's just gone. Oh, that's a desperation recall. Somehow both units will escape. Just when it looked like Nina was on the precipice of victory, Bly almost threw her off the cliff. It's not over by any means. That fight gets Bly back in the game. And that is a problem. Oh, it was right there. But I think the Warp Prism in the main was the distraction. And now it's a distraction for Bly, but at that split second when the Banelings came rolling in, the split second when there was... Oh no, the Baneling nest has wronged Nina before, so the Zealots will focus on it, but unfortunately will not kill it nor anything else. And suddenly Bly... He's down to 3 bases, so that means about even economies here. The worker counts are about even. Once again, there's a difference between... Okay. Hero probe. It deserved it. Wait, The Immortals were stuck inside and decide to bash down the front door. Remember, I don't know what happened with the wall up there. I think the Archon couldn't get out. The Immortals probably could, but the Archon was stuck. Archon's pretty, quote, thick, as they say in the Protoss army. There's a hive on the way, shaping up to be another ridiculous and relatively long game. To Nina's dismay. This was looking like a potential victory before the Banelings came rolling. But now, it's still looking good for Nina. +3 on the way, a good unit composition, but Bly has been given opportunity to live. Never say Bly. Oh, watch out, probes. And that is not a good sign. Oh. +2 Banelings are so scary. They're almost as... what? Where did those come from? Everyone is surprised to see the mutas. Maybe except for Bly. What? When did he get mutas? I was paying no attention. Nina caught off guard as well, as she's going for kind of a desperation base trade. How many times have we seen this now? There's an infestor in the mix. Storms are good. There's a lot of them. Are they enough, though? Even 2 Banelings getting through. That's enough to kill the Templar. Another round. There's a few Banelings in there. There's enough storms to kind of be the most dangerous force fields in the game. And another base is cut off. Storms find more Banelings, but even more being produced. Nearly a critical... Beautiful fungal, but not enough to chain it. Meanwhile, the mutas are kind of just killing the main. But Archons and Immortals, there's still a lot of storms. Some of the army being isolated. Archons at the front. Great storm from Nina. Another one. Nearly out of energy. Running out of storms. The Templar don't get the opportunity to merge. But here we go again. The main base being ransacked. +3 vulnerable. Bly's starting to realize maybe I don't actually have enough army to beat this. There's no more storms. One's about to come up. But there's not that much that needs to be stormed. The Ravagers! Live or die by the Blyles. He says, and here come the Ravagers. They show up potentially just in time, or maybe a little too late. It's unclear. The Blyles are hitting. Barrier used. Great storms again. Another storm. But the Protoss army's starting to get a little thin. Trying to... another Archon merges in. The last 2 Templar Zealots. The economy of Nina down to 50 probes. Bly had a nice amount of workers for a moment, but starting to lose them. Nina pushing through. The supplies have evened up. And this is a disaster for Bly. He just didn't have the army. Roaches, Ravagers, and Banelings do not stand up to the High Templar. The storms coating the field. He got a lucky fight outside his former third. But this time, Nina watching the Templar, vigilant to the opportunities the Banelings would look to exploit. And Bly is now somehow supply blocked. I'm not sure where all the Overlords died, but Hatches and Overlords have been dying left, right, center, above, probably not below. There's still an army that could win a fight. I don't know what the upgrades. +3. The Archons are kind of an important part, but the Archons are very distracted. They're easily distracted, to be honest. Nina looking at a... she's still mining. Nina's still mining. That's what matters. Remember, game 1. Mining matters. Oh, Bly's last units. G. That's enough. That's enough G's for me. I'll add 1. JJ. A little more concise, but what a mess. Oh my god. That game and that series, such a mess that apparently the stream is exploding. And with it, my cast. It's just ridiculous. I blame these players. Oh my god. Before I have to uninstall Starcraft and go live in the mountains because that series broke my brain, my spirit, and my computer. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, check out these amazing videos. Thank you to Nina for the commentary. Protoss, ? Thank you to the players for the great games, ESL for the ESL Open Cup, and you for watching. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Good luck, and have fun.